Hello Libra, welcome to your September 2024 reading. My name is Nigel and you have found Alchemy. Okay, what we're going to do is move through all your oracle cards. And then by the time we get to your tarot, we'll start to put together a puzzle. So let's get started. We have, all right, see if I could pick these up. Got it. Okay. You know, interestingly enough, you did pull this card, and I'm pretty sure you pulled this a few months ago. I used it for your thumbnail on one of the readings, so this is sort of birthing something into existence with your voice. Your voice seems to matter this month. You saying something. I mean, this could be anything. This could be the power of manifestation. As we move through the reading, we'll figure this out. But as we start the reading, it looks like there is something here. What you say has power this month. Libra. Here you have the birthing card, and you know, when you have this card, it is coming out of an old form into another. So here we have what's on the table so far is you having more of an impact than you think with your words, what is said and what isn't said, and as a result, you being birthed into a new form. Now, I want to also note that when I was shuffling, I don't know if you watched, I had these cards kept speaking to me. I mean, you got 4 here, 2 here, 2 here. It's really not the way it has gone so far in the series. And even the first time I shuffled these cards, I put them back because there were so many. And when I shuffled them again, 2 of them fell out, so I just kept them. So apparently there's a lot here on the table that needs to be said to you. Let's get started with these cards. Now, you did pull the dissolution card here. And, you know, the dissolution card is surrender. It's the dissolving of something, the releasing of something. Interestingly enough, this is changing from one form into another, just like this card, right? Changing from one form into another. It can indicate in some situations going back to something, but it generally means, you know, changing from one thing into another. Here you also have the Earth's Heart card. I like that because there's a rose on it, and when a rose like that appears in my readings, it's very hopeful. This is the Earth card. It's buried treasure, right? Something is blossoming deep within that may require your attention. It could mean love. It could mean something at work. It could be a new aspect of yourself. But there is something to be discovered here about yourself, Libra, this month. So I'm starting to piece together a little bit, but let's keep going before we form an actual opinion. The problem here is that I broke part of my nail, so it's difficult for me to pick anything up, which is horrible. It says, searching for you. I feel your soul near me, but I cannot see you. Until our paths cross, I will never stop looking. So this is somebody from your past here that is still searching for you, because even this card says, I feel you even when we're apart. There is somebody that yearns for you from your past here, Libra. And keep in mind, the different aspects of your month will hit you at different moments. You know, it's not like you're going to be feeling one way every day for 30 days. It doesn't work that way. Here you do have commitment in reverse. Yeah. So you have commitment in reverse. This card is a number 36. You may, all right, this could mean one of two things. You may get rejected in some way this month. It could be a job, it could be a relationship, but the rejection is protecting you because this is the meaning of this card. You may be walking into something you may later regret. if you take on this contract or commitment. It could be work, a relationship, like I said, some form of commitment. This could be something as simple as committing to helping someone move, or as serious as a marriage or a work contract. But this is in reverse, so this is something you should be mindful of. You may be asked this month. Let me see if I can move these into the picture a little bit more. You may be asked this month to commit to something or to do something that is not in your best interest. You do have here, let's see. You pulled two animals. You were the only one who pulled the moth spirit. It says surrender now, number 39. And you know, the moth does stand for transformation, rebirth, evolution. There is tremendous change going on when this is, and you know, also, we can't forget the old moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame, the moth is attracted to that which will eventually be its undoing. So there may be something that's very tempting for you this month as well that you perhaps should avoid. You have the scarab beetle, and it says magic works through you. And I did say that with that card. I do think you have a lot more power than you give yourself credit for at times. The scarab beetle is also an indication of resurrection, rebirth, transformation, and growth. And in Egypt, it is considered a symbol of luck. You have love. It says love is in the air. It's a great time for relationships, taking things to the next level. And so here we go. I mean, I do think there is someone from your past here, if you're interested in that at all. But there is someone in your past who does miss you. There is someone in your past who still thinks of you. So there's that. Now here you have the silence card in reverse, which is fascinating when you look at it with this card. And it says moving in silence while you continue to build. Silence is the best way to increase your personal power. This is in reverse. And we talked about this, you know, when we got this card of using your voice, being heard. There is something you need to speak into existence this month. You're going to have to say something. I'm really feeling it. You do have Sedna here. And, you know, Sedna is known as the mother of all marine life. She was unhappy with all the suitors that came to her, but she eventually fell for a man who lied about who he was, lied about what he had, lied about who he was. He wooed her in disguise. I'm summarizing here. She's very interesting if you'd like to look her up. But her father eventually rescued her when he saw how she was living, and then ironically sacrificed her to appease the sea and save himself. He cut off each of her fingers, and each of her fingers became various sea creatures, and that's how she became the ocean's mother. Now, of course, the moral of the story is somebody may try to come and con you, right, or lie. There is that element here on the table with a few of these cards so far. And ironically, Libra, you pulled justice. I mean, luckily I shuffled these cards on camera and you could see what happens. If you ever want to slow it down, you could use that gear, click on that gear icon, and you could slow it down as slow as you'd like. You could see they fell out by themselves, but the justice card did fall out. This is a number 5. It says, by the power of 3 by 3, Mat, deliver justice to me. This is also, the justice scales are quite Egyptian, just like the scarab beetle. So that's kind of interesting as well. And I'll tell you how. Like the justice, Mat is the Egyptian goddess of truth. She holds those scales. So when you pass away, you put your heart on one scale and a feather on the other. And if your heart is too heavy, she exiles you. That's just a side note here. But this is Libra, right? I mean, obviously, it's in the center of your reading. It stands for Libra. It stands for the scales of justice. When this deck is not in reverse, when it is upright the way it is now, it means that you are going to have to seek justice for yourself this month in some way. If it was in reverse, it would be a little bit different meaning, but that is sort of melding together with this. There is some sort of underhanded energy around you. You do have astral travel here in reverse. And it says you could expect to travel or to start a new adventure. And your movement, your forward movement this month may be slow, and it may not take off the way you'd like it to, at least initially. You may at some point this month feel stagnated or held back. You may feel like something's holding you back. Now, you pulled 3 of these cards. Excuse me, 4. You pulled 4 of them. So you have the moon void, of course, disconnect, withdrawal, reception. The moon void, of course, when the moon is void, of course, and you could check online when that is, the best thing to do is to organize, meditate, retreat. This also could mean that you need some sort of self-care this month. Now, you also pulled Mercury. It says communication, correspondence, expression, language. Again, you're going to need to use your voice this month, Libra, for sure. Now, Mercury was in retrograde August 4th to the 28th. We're still going to be in its shadow the first week or so of September. Don't make any commitments. Don't make any commitments during that time. But I'm telling you, Mercury's key here. Your communication this month is going to be key. You also pulled Neptune, mysticism, spirituality, escapism. You may not want to see something. We are in Mercury retrograde from July through December. This occurred in your 6th house of wellness. If you've been pushing yourself or not saying no, this may be a time to acknowledge this and make some changes. You also have waning, gibbous moon, harvest, reception, and gratitude. The waning moon dates are the 1st and the 2nd and the 19th through the 30th. These dates may be important to you this month somehow, Libra. Now let's look at your oracles here. You have the whale, and the whale, it says great worry over nothing, but I'm looking at the symbolism of the whale. It tells us to go deeper on a subject. Don't take something at face value. Sperm whales also symbolize overcoming challenges. So whatever challenges you face this month, I really do think you're going to get over them by using your voice somehow. You do have flowers, and it does say happiness, but what I'm drawn to on this card is the Japanese paradise. It's called the Japanese paradise flycatcher bird. Interesting, right? This indicates inner strength, fortitude, and the most important thing is this bird is known as the storyteller that arrives in the summer with tales. The thing is, it is another card of communication, of speaking. You're going to be called upon to speak, and I do think it's going to be something that requires you to defend yourself in some way. Now, as we move down to your tarot, this is the beginning of your month. In the beginning of the month, you are going to experience some growth. As we know, growth isn't always easy, right? Growth is great. Growth is wonderful, but growth isn't always easy. Sometimes we have growing pains. And as we see, as you start the month, you do have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius, but it could be any fire sign. You may be experiencing burnout. Your goals may be far off. The journey to your goals, as you can see, he's making his way to a village. The journey to your goals may be exhausting. You may feel like you have a burden at the beginning of the month. And I have to tell you, this 10 of Wands leads straight into the infamous 10 of Swords. 2 10s. So the 10 of Swords is the bottoming out of something, right? I mean, obviously things are going to improve after this because it doesn't get any worse. And I think that... So I do think things are going to improve, and the only reason I say that is because of the next card, right? But focusing on this card here, this is the card of Gemini, obviously any air sign. This can be a card of liberation. This can be a card of someone stabbing you in the back. This very well could be the card of someone stabbing you in the back, Libra. But what's great is that these 2 10s, and we'll get to the meaning of these 10s at the end of the reading, these 2 10s gives birth to this card. And I love this card for you. This is the Ace of Swords. After a loss, a gift is given to you. This is the card of Libra, by the way. Yes, any air sign, but Libra specifically. This is victory. This is clarity. You're going to become very clear on something. You're going to go through some problems here at the beginning of the month. But I have to tell you, whatever happens is going to make something very crystal clear to you. You have, in your mid-month, Okay. You have the card of Mercury again. Communication. Communication is big for you here, Libra. I'm telling you. It's a big deal. As we pull into your tarot, after you're gifted with this clarity, okay, you're gifted with more clarity, with the sun shining on something. You're going to see something so clearly here. And it's, you know, the sun coming out like this, obviously Leo energy, right? The sun coming out like this makes you optimistic. And it makes you optimistic for a very specific reason, because you can see something very clearly. The sun illuminates. Coming right after the sword of truth, the sun illuminates. Now, in the center of your whole month, this is the energy that all the other energies revolve around. You have the Seven of Swords. That is sneaky energy. It is, you know, it does stand for Aquarius. It can stand for any air sign. But the truth is, this is obviously a thief making their escape. Someone who's acting in a sneaky or dishonorable way. There's history in this situation now. There is. There's going to be truth that comes out here. You can see that skull. There's going to be truth that comes out here about a sneaky situation, something that you were unaware of, something maybe that you didn't want to see with this Neptunian energy. It's very possible. But I have to tell you, Mercury is here for a reason. And you have the card of Taurus here on this side. This side is less rigid than the other, but I have to tell you, it also tells you that someone who may have had a tight hand on you, someone who may have had control over you in some way, someone who may have been holding you back, their power is lessened. Their power could be lessened. Their power could be completely eliminated. I think I did mention that that archetype does stand for Taurus energy. Now, as you move on through your month, at the end of the month, you may be experiencing limiting fears. And I do think, Libra, this is a result of all the things that you have been through and uncovered. Sometimes clarity can make us unstable. Sometimes we live in a certain mode and we see someone a certain way. And when that cloud is lifted and we can see them for who they are, it becomes very confusing. It makes you fear. It makes you fear it makes you unstable, imbalanced. It could make you very imbalanced. So now here at the end of your month, you have the Tower. And this side of the Tower is a little different. This is the classic side of the Tower here. But I have to tell you, this side of the Tower does tell a story, right? First of all, it's, you know, some people think it's Mars, Aries energy. Some people think it's Scorpio, Pluto energy. You know, regardless of how you look at it, this side of the Tower is quite different. Let me tell you the story. This side of the Tower, you see the two Sphinxes. The two Sphinxes are from the Chariot. And they're swimming away from the wrecked tower. And the Chariot itself is crashed on the rocks. Each Sphinx is going in their own direction because they're no longer being led or driven by an energy outside of them. The mask at the top of the tower that's cracked and ready to fall is delusion. From this rubble, a small tree is growing. See that tree? I don't know if you can focus on it. There is some hope there, right? Something's growing out of this. Something happened. A lightning strike came. You were able to see something very clearly. I can't say that enough. You have here, right after the Tower, you have the Death card. The Scorpio energy for sure. Something has ended here. And you release it. Something is ending here and you release it. The Death card is completion. The Death card is ending something. Ending something. You have here that the last card of the month is the Five of Wands. You know, this is Leo energy again, but there is some sort of sparring indicated here. This could mean competition. You could do something for a living that is competitive in nature. Or perhaps, Libra, perhaps you're fighting back with your eyes wide open balancing those scales that may have been imbalanced before that. You're standing up for yourself. And you know, you kind of ignore the wands because your wand may be your voice. You're finding your voice. Absolutely finding your voice here. Now let's get to your warnings. Another card of Libra. Another card of Libra. You have come out in this reading many, many times in major ways. So you have obviously justice, Libra. Now you have the devil here. Capricorn energy. The thing that strikes me about this side of the devil is the book that is in flames on the side of the card. Do you see that book? It's in flames. You know why? Because knowledge is the enemy of the devil. Ignorance is his closest ally. So you are being shown something. Something is being illuminated to you. The devil is facing a different way now. You have to understand there's a warning here about ignorance. When that sword comes in, when that sun comes in to illuminate, pay attention. This is a sign of awakening. The warning here is to ignore it. Don't ignore it. Now this energy gives birth to the star, the card of Aquarius. Now normally this is great energy, but in your warnings column, I think this is telling you wishing isn't enough. It's not enough with devil energy. Don't have unrealistic hope without action. Your action this month is coming from your mouth. You're verbalizing something. You're standing up for yourself. Okay? And finally, another card that's usually very good. You have the Nine of Cups in your warnings. This is Jupiter and Pisces, by the way. Be mindful of a gift that's not a gift. Coming after the devil, this is a sign to examine all things before accepting anything. Okay? Examine the source. Examine why they're giving it to you. Examine if it's truly a gift. Those are your warnings. Now let's look at your blessings. Let's look at the good stuff. You do have the Knight of Wands here, and I like that energy for you, for sure. The Knight of Wands is fearless. I mean, Sagittarian energy. Could be any fire sign, but particularly Sagittarius, right? Fearless, assertive. You are moving towards something very quickly with confidence. It's a far cry from this energy here. You're moving towards something with confidence. You have here the Eight of Swords on this side. Each side is a little different. But with the Eight of Swords here, this is Gemini energy, by the way, you are fully capable of doing this. You are fully capable of standing up for yourself and rescuing yourself. You have the power. You have more power than you think. And I think I said that way at the beginning of this reading. You are going to have choices. Now, on this side of the card, it's a little different. He looks a little confused. You know, the choices might not even be choices. He doesn't know what the hell to do. On this side, it's a little happier. He has choices. He has real choices. You will have choices after a breakthrough. This is Scorpio energy, by the way. With the Seven of Cups, you're going to have a breakthrough and you're going to have choices that come after it. Actual real choices. And another thing in your blessings is the distance you are going to put between you and whatever the hell energy this was. This was energy that was holding you back. This was energy that was some sort of toxic in nature. The justice is something you're going to have to seek. You're going to have to seek it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's just not, you can't wish for it. You are going to have to use your voice and birth this new thing into existence. You're going to have to dissolve it. You're going to have to grab that rose. Definitely. Definitely. Use your words. Silence is upside down. Okay. So where do I even start here? I'll do your lucky numbers. Your lucky numbers are 65, 53, 36, 8, 9, 52, 39, 11, 6, 3, 7, 9, and 5. Now, Libra was mentioned 4 times in this reading. Sagittarius was mentioned twice. Gemini was mentioned twice. Leo was mentioned twice. Scorpio was mentioned twice. And Mercury was mentioned twice. You had 3 times the number 8 was mentioned, and that is balance. That's that balance again. 3 times the number 8 was mentioned. 4 times the number 7 was mentioned, and that is hidden things. Hidden things. There were 3 times the number 5 was mentioned, and that's associated with, guess what? Mercury. You had 3 number 10s in this reading, and that was completions. You're going to move on. Now, listen, if you don't use your voice, if you just sit around wishing things were different, if you don't look at the things that are clearly being illuminated to you, you're going to get stuck in this. You're not going to get stuck in it forever. Nobody is. But you can easily move past this. The energy is there this month. You just need to use your voice, Libra. Don't people please. It's not a good month for that. Give me one for Libra, please. Give me one for Libra. Or September, Libra. It says companionship, animals. You may have an animal that you really love here, Libra. But to me, when I see this card, it is a card of loyalty. You may, and then at the bottom, you have magic, alchemy. You have the power to change the situation. Your words are going to be magic this month. Watch, I can't pick this up. Damn it, I'm like determined though. I'm going to wreck the table, but I'm doing it. Your words are magic this month. Don't waste this energy. Don't waste this energy. Now, this loyalty you seek, I have to tell you, there is someone around you who's the antithesis of that. You have someone here from your past that looks like they're very, very open to seeing you again. That's a whole different situation, by the way. You know, you have this love. But there is someone in your life. It could be at work. It could be in your family. It could be literally anyone. It's going to be different for all of you, right? Where loyalty is not that. You're not going to see the loyalty that you're looking for in this person. In fact, you're going to see quite the opposite. There is going to be something here that is illuminated to you. Wait a minute. There's more. Wait a minute. There's going to be something here that is illuminated to you very, very clearly. You just have to open your eyes to it. You have to open your eyes to this. Because this is where you're at. Someone loses their grip on you. You put an end to all the BS and you fight for what's yours. And when I say that, obviously I'm talking about using your voice, standing up for yourself. Knowledge is the enemy of the devil. Don't wish things into existence, and always look really carefully at supposed gifts that are coming your way. And balance those scales. You can rescue yourself and move into this Knight of Wands energy. You will have choices. As soon as you put distance between you and this thing, use your voice. Use your voice. Your keywords this month are justice, balance, voice, and Mercury. I wish you all the best. I'll see you next time. Namaste.